Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We are late. It is 6:30, but I needed that time. I needed time to myself. This is your Wise One channel. I am your host, Lady Caren, and I know I'm supposed to be here at like 6 a.m., but been working on a couple of decisions. Um, yeah. So, good morning. Hope you're enjoying the Wise One channel with me as your host, Lady Caren. And I hope you got your coffee or your drink of choice ready, because it has been, what a week. Whew, what a ride. So I'm coming into this chapter of my life. We're gonna breathe. Two. Let's get ready. I'm just gonna breathe. So good morning. It is Thursday morning in March. We're in our second week of March, third month of the year. We're in 2021. For me, I'm not yet 40. That's what it is. And I'm coming up to that golden age of 16 for my eldest daughter, who's in another state with her dad, living with her dad. He's got custody. So that's where we are in the morning. My life. I've got 4 kids. And just taking a breath and kind of like, where are we? Taking a moment of where in my crazy life am I? Just got hired at Amazon, so I start Sunday. At 6 p.m. Sunday. And I get out at 4:30 in the morning. No, I start later. I don't think I start at 6. I think I start later. So I got the paperwork in. And I've also been working an administrative job 2, 3 hours from the home, real estate. So if you guys got real estate questions, I can shoot it to my boss and he can help me answer those for you. Or he wants me to go on into real estate and be my own real estate agent. I don't mind. It's something that I would do in my spare time. It's something that would bring me money, residual income, I guess. Something to stand on, something to lean on, something to help bring in a home to help me pay for home housing by selling houses and apartments, rent outs, and things like that, of that nature. And especially if I'm going towards that castle, real estate, man, can't go wrong with real estate. I had a landlady who ran a bed and breakfast. She wanted to do this and that. She was a jack of all trades. She was in good with her community. And then she had grandkids that they moved. I don't know what they did with the property or whatever, but I had to move out too. So then she moved so that she could be a resident where her kids wanted to go to college so that the kids could live with her and I think something something with the grandkids. It was great. She worked, did, she knew what she was doing. But so it was, how much do I want to let real estate take over my life? I'm willing to be an real estate, administrative real estate service for 2, 3 hours a day work on, like, so no more than 4 hours, I think, because I'd have to study for an hour to get licensed, insured, all that stuff, get my license, sell properties, buy properties, all that. Right now, I'm starting from ground zero, but everybody needs a place to live. Hopefully, I would also, use that switch in, like, to castle would be like a house style. Would be like that, you know, housing for everybody. Place to rest, place to go, place to venue, always something going on. Okay. But yeah, go towards the castle, still do real estate, buy properties, sell properties, rent out properties. Why not? Until the castle takes over everything because I'm going to put everything into the castle. Uh, yeah, I mean, it's manageable, it's doable because this job that I took on for Amazon, this factory work, isn't a career. I mean, it's not going to be, that's 40 hours, it's 10 hours, if not 50 hours a week, to bring in money, to get out of debt. That's to get out of debt and get myself set financially because that's not a dream. It's not a part of who I am. I'm not going to get into factory and do factory in order to provide for kids at home. A lot of people do that. That works for a lot of people. If it weren't for my dad going and working at a factory, I wouldn't. He does factory work, but he's like careered into it. Like he's into a small company, and he runs the whole facility. Pretty much. He's been through more than one boss or one owner, and he's been at it, and it's built, a home for my parents. And through all the changes, it's been, and he's happy with working it a lot better than his last job before that paid more before my parents got married. That wasn't him. That wasn't his kind of thing to do. He still does electrician stuff. That's his trade. Um, and he's still, he can small engine repair, does that as a hobby or did that as a hobby. I don't know if he does that nowadays, but yeah, he enjoys having a snowblower and should the lawnmower break, he can fix it. So as long as he's doing his thing and he's happy with it, you know. But if it weren't for that, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be able to stand. I wouldn't be able to rebuild my life. I'd been screwed with no place to go. Um, yeah, he built a marriage and a life, and he's still at it. And he goes to work every day, and it's his job, and it's amazing. But I can't make a career out of Amazon. I can't be a career factory worker. That's not who I am. I'm not a manual labor. I got too many ideas up here that I gotta get out. And if I don't get them out, I probably won't, probably, because it's high risk too. Because if I get hurt on the job, those are the kind of jobs where I hear like a lot of my friends, they'll go into factories, they'll go into factory work, and they'll get laid off, they'll get let go because some sort of accident happened, I mean, even if you're careful, even if you do everything like you're supposed to, I mean, one slip, one wrong move, you know, um, or it pays, for all I know, I'm probably a seasonal worker, I don't know, but just get it in there, get the money, pay out my debt, get myself our housing, pay towards this housing, you know, be financially stable. All right. So, do you have a question for the tarot deck? So if you've got a question, go ahead and list it. I had a oh my gosh. I was like, "Hey, will I make it career-wise or business-wise?" And I'm like, "No, you're gonna go with an unexpected bankruptcy." Oh my god, that's horrible. The poor guy. Oh, my heart breaks. But, I hope he does okay. I hope he makes it. I hope whatever he does, I hope he makes it. I hope it doesn't wreck him. Oh my gosh. That was horrible. So I did a tarot reading this morning. Oh, so I've been on the fence about my ex, and he didn't want to break up. According to him, it's not that he didn't want to break up. It's just that I shouldn't assume that the breakup was what he wanted. Let's put it this way. Let's call it like it is. Yeah, the way our relationship was. Mm-mm. We both know. Mm-mm. So I said, well, if that's not what you want, then, maybe we should work towards a better relationship. Or we could just work towards co-parenting. Co-parenting is the easy part. When I had formed my partnership with him, my personal partnership with him, life partnership with him, I offered him forever. I'm like, no matter what our relationship is, our partnership should be there. That's what I promised him. I put that above boyfriend, girlfriend. I put that above marriage because I had been married, divorced. Apparently, you can get divorced is not. But yeah. So that's what I offered. And I felt stupid for like saying, "Hey, I'm still here. If you want to get back together." Yeah, no. Knowing that, so we talked, and he spent the night. Mostly, we both agreed that he joked about that I was just using him as pawn, but honestly, it was just so that our youngest could have both parents, and he could try it. He could get some sleep. He didn't get any sleep. I didn't sleep too much. But I'm trying to learn how to get 4 hours of sleep. That's why I'm tired. That's why I'm attention deficit disorder. That's why attention deficit disorder is worse when you get less sleep. So if you don't have a question, I'm just going to ask a general question. That's okay. So what I'm going to do, I do know that what I'm going to do for the schedule is that Coffee with Caren is going to be Fridays and Saturdays in the morning at like earlier, not at 6. I want to be asleep at 6 in the morning, switch my sleep in the morning. So I have to teach my daughter how to get up and be independent and get up and do her breakfast. And she's in 2nd grade. And she has attention. It would work easier if she didn't have attention deficit disorder because I watched other 2nd graders, and so they can do more. But we'll see what she's capable of, and we'll work with what she's capable of. Uh, she may need more help, in which case I need to manage more help for her. But occasional Thursdays, when I don't work, you guys will see me on Coffee with Caren. And then I'm going to work on uploading. I don't know how. I don't have equipment. I don't know where to store a video so that I can upload it. But I'm going to upload. Sitting here considering. But the cards, so I did a reading for me, and the card says, getting back together with him would basically be a shit show. It's just gonna hurt me. Don't let him I got the tower re no, not the tower reversed. What did I get? I got the 6 of wands rever 3 of wands reversed. That's what it was. 3 of wands reversed. You were hurt, and don't let him don't. You were hurt, something happened. You don't understand what happens. Don't be in a position where you can get hurt again. And you have to sit there and you have to contemplate, you know, it's a little hard to swallow that pill. We're like, that makes sense. So, yeah, like, because as it stands, he really doesn't acknowledge me or validate or respect my side of things, my value of things, and he feels that I don't listen to him. He feels that I'm crazy and just like whatever, I'm just going to willy-nilly abandon him. And I wasn't exactly the healthiest person to be around while I was in the middle of like healing. So I had to make decisions this morning, and it was better that I made decisions without the camera on. It's better, you guys. And I had to figure out, what am I going to do? So I am going to definitely co-parent no matter what with him. No matter what happens, co-parenting. Um, but getting in a hookup relationship right now is a bad idea for either one of us. Uh, yeah. And yeah, I apologize for hurting him, and he did not apologize for hurting me. It's like he'll apologize for like being tired, for being human, for having feelings and thoughts. And then he gets mad at me for yelling at him for not apologizing for that because I tell him that nobody got hurt, don't apologize. Because that's not healthy. But if I get yeah, don't apologize for that. Apologize for hurting people. If you hurt somebody, apologize. Don't apologize for being human. Don't apologize for being you. Nobody should apologize for that. Like, nobody should have to. Ay, let's get this tarot reading. The fun. Let's get to the fun part, the tarot reading part. Yay. I love the tarot cards. General reading. Let's just see what it's got going on here. Yeah, because relationship wise, no. Partnership, maybe. Relationship, I do. Yeah, yeah. Or maybe I'm not a good person for him, as well as he's not a good person for me. But it's so weird when your heart's one way and mentally you're totally a different way. The ambiguity, it's just like, yeah, it's just two sides, and you're just one coin. I so made decisions this morning that I can't. I know that I can't control him, so I'm just gonna co-parent work on stuff, work on me, get out of debt, get a place, get the castle. I'm just gonna live my life. How much does he want to be in it? How much do I want him in it? But I definitely grew this morning. Yeah. Yeah. All right. General. It's reversed. Okay. What is reversed? We're looking at the Five of Cups. We're looking at regret. All that talk about my ex. Oh, those are pretty. Okay. Regret. We've pulled this card up before. Okay. Cups. Three of Cups. There we go. Reverse meaning. Looking right at it. Indicates that you have been excessively destructive, self-indulgence, whether eating too much, smoking too much, drinking too much, taking drugs, or engaging in possible promiscuous sex with no thought for the feelings of others. This behavior is making you ill and some of a poor self-image. And it stems from a sore self-image. You look you need to look at why you are doing this to yourself and deal with the underlying problem. So belief in myself will help me deal with not having belief in myself. And that belief in yourself, yeah, poor self-image. That's the biggest thing that popped out of that reading is that you need to have a better self-image. Everybody does that I could think of. There are exceptions. I understand there are exceptions. I don't understand what exception there would be to somebody needing to have a good self-image. Maybe somebody with too much self-image, good self-image. The ego is too big. So yeah. So I need to grow me, grow my business, grow, the things that I want to do. And take care of this. So, you know how I want to do this, I want to do that, I want. I wrote it all out this morning as much as I could. Now, I just have to organize it and put it into what I want to do next, what I want to do after that, what I want to do that, what goes with what. I need to categorize it together. I need to put it where it belongs, and then I can work on it in smaller tasks. First thing first, up to the next thing next, and eventually we'll get to a self-sustaining happiness and fulfillment in a castle. Is it the castle that needs to be there? Could it be a mansion? I am in favor of the idea of castle because of the fact that it resonates a permanence, resonates a continuation, resonates a strong foundation, it's strong walls, and a way of being something to lean on and providing for others. That's what, unhealthily, the hierarchy and picture, was way back then before when we had the dark ages and we had all those castles stuff leading up into the Renaissance and the modern era was that the everybody worked for the castle, worked for the one lord castle, and you had your serfs. You had your knights and you had your serfs and you had your all that stuff. It trickled down. So that's not self-sustaining. That's an inflation, and that's going to cause to burst. It's not going to, you'd have to really tear down core development in order and rebuild something that won't stay. Eh, don't do that. But if I could get the castle to work for everybody else, that's where you have, it's where you have it more self-sustaining, a stronger foundation. It's possible that that's what inspired castles, but to build a hierarchy in there would be self-destructive. So, building equality and a sense of fortitude and a sense of strength and a sense of stability and a sense of permanence and longevity, a continuous something where you can build on a new wing and a new wing after that and a new wing after that and a new wing after that. And one thing would sustain the other thing, which would sustain the other thing. Get it to its self-sustaining, each in its action, its own self-sustaining wing, its own self-sustaining business, a self-sustaining um, core belief, and where it interacts well with all the other things. Like the fact that I want to start with a psychic cafe, where people can get readings, get the coffee, or just have coffee in a nice place to be. And that would generate money and build up itself. And instead of when it builds where it's bringing in more money than it needs, that's when growth happens. And that's a lot of times when people would take on a franchise or distribute franchises, or there's another word, or you can, like McDonald's a franchise, or the other word. Can't think of this wording, but there is a word. I rest assured there is a word. Oh, the 6 hours of sleep thing is like, okay. Okay. I had an idea because I'm caffeinated and attention deficit disorder, and if I don't write this down, it doesn't have to do with the show. If I don't write this down, I'm going to lose it, and it's important. Okay. Okay. And get back into, and instead of doing a franchise, have the cafe pay to start up the restaurant or the garden or biology and apothecary. That would be awesome. And growing food would help with the um, the restaurant, cafe, or the cafe, and then start the gardening and the apothecary. Because I love herbs and spices, and apothecary is what we're going to need, especially with um, healthcare not currently being self-sustaining. Because the fact that it can help people, that medication can help people change their lives and improve their lives, makes for a very good thing. It's so good, in fact, that they can abuse it. And you can easily get on too many medications and less living, and your whole life revolves around medication. And it's easy to do. I mean, if they're not smart enough, if you're not, but it's an industry where the doctors become so administratively oriented into being a pharmaceutical. They're promoted by the pharmaceuticals at least this was, it's so it was important for us not to get too bombarded and to be an advocate. And so that when you get the medication that actually helps, and learn to stop at the medication that helps, and to learn to accurately how to maneuver in the medical industry, through the medical industry, because they can refer you to specialists, and it's great. And you have a wonderful, like you have a rash, can't figure it out, go to the dermatologist, figure it out, and you're happy and you can go on with your life. And it doesn't, and it's no longer making it so that you can't sleep, work, eat, function, and live, right? So then you have this great solution that you make with your dermatologist, and you can continue that relationship with all sorts of skincare where you have like a dermatologist that you see or whatever in with the insurance, or you can only need it for that one thing, and this whole time you're going to have a regular doctor. But then there's like, you can end up with therapy, and you can end up with psychologists, psychiatrists. You can end up, because like everybody could use a psychologist nowadays. I mean, even when you're healthy and you're mentally stable, sometimes it's better to have a confidant, somebody to talk to, um, just to get things out. And sometimes, friends and family aren't as well intending as they are. They aren't the people that you should talk to. So they're, but some people have friends and family that they can talk to, and it's comfortable and it's great and it's fantastic, and you don't need a psychologist. But then you could, psychologist, psychiatrist, there's a drug for everything. Just like there's an app for everything, there's a drug for everything. Uh, so, I mean, we built on convenience. And it streamlined our ability to survive or thrive. But on the other hand, it's not really the design of the humankind to do this, or you don't want to become, what do you call it, a leech on something. Here, what do you call on a host? And you don't support your host, and it's not symbiotic. Parasitic. You don't want to become parasitic to yourself, the planet, your circle of friends. Um, so yeah, I mean, there's a balance. There's a balance to going to the doctors. It's great to go to the doctor, build up a relationship with uh, a patient and doctor relationship with your ouch, I did it the wrong way. Okay, with your family care doctor, your something. Alright. Um, yeah, it's on my mind. I need to quit obsessing about him. It's just like, how do I make this work? I have a feeling and I have to make the feeling work. I have a thought and I have to make the thought work. Has to, it has to, you know, understanding of why it's not working, where can it work until it feels like it's right, until you get that click, until you get that, we, that I can do this. This is who and what I am, and this is how I feel. Cause like yesterday, later in the day, my theme of the day, the feelings, the core philosophy, and the whole, like a theme or whatever was, you know, treating people so that they can be themselves, true themselves. People will be like, well, do this and this, and then you'll really see the true, what they truly are. Don't call them, and then they're, they want to be your actual friend, da 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 da, or, you know, the just like stuff where, you piss off somebody and then you get to see their true colors. And I thought to myself, do I feel like myself when I'm pissed off, when I'm stressed? No. I feel most like myself when I'm calm, when I'm happy, when I'm content, when I'm fulfilled. I feel like me. When I can feel like me again. That is a phrase, even in the medical, even like when you go to the doctors, you just want to feel like you. And you isn't some pissed off, stressed out, reacting to a threat kind of person. So nobody's their true colors or what they truly are when they're in a state of fight or flight. So take a moment, ground yourself. There's a time when you can take a time to reflect and you can take a time to meditate and you can take a time to just pause if you're able to. But don't ignore the times when you have to take into action. Don't act from a place of stress. Don't act from a place of fear, stress, anger, hatred, ignorance, if you can avoid ignorance. There's a lot of things where you go, I didn't know. It's like your childhood on up. So I mean, like, that's when you learn, when you can calm and be you, no matter what the situation is, the calm, the center of the storm, or the life, no matter what storm comes and goes, if you're the calm, the deep rooted, strong foundations, you'll make it through any and every storm. That's what I was before I went into that relationship, was learning to be my center, my calm, that freakishly beautiful, just awe-inspiring, calm and grounded and wonderful thought and feeling. That that is what I want in my life. So no matter what the drama, no matter what's going on, no matter who's president, no matter what's politically going on, no matter what's, that is what I'm striving for. I have to remember that. And that's where I have to stem from in my actions and my words, is those thoughts, those feelings, those I have to grow. That's makes life a little less crazy. So when you have a crazy life, it doesn't feel so panicky. If I had known that as a younger kid, if I'd known that throughout my life, how different it would be. That's all we can do. That's all we have the power to do. And that's what I want is so that people that's this lifestyle that I'm trying to create, this to cultivate to that's my brand is that calm, striving towards that calm, the exception to everything else. It shouldn't just be normal that you're sitting there screaming at your kids to get ready to walk out the door. That wasn't a norm for me. That wasn't an acceptable norm, no matter what was happening. So I was like, all right, so how do we get ready to go? How do they learn that, in 5 minutes, I'm getting into the car, we're going to go? How do we go? Because I knew I had to learn that I wasn't getting ready either very well. I was just like putting on shoes and running. I was procrastinating and then just putting the shoes on and walking out the door and doing the 500 times back for purse, phone, glasses, money, so whatever it was that I needed to go to deliver or to go out and do. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So, uh, so yeah, I went and I wrote so much down. Okay, so Thursdays, we're gonna do art. I had all this down for that, and then I realized I'm only going to do it like 2, 3 days for the next couple of years. You're gonna get me on my days off for coffee for the live videos, and then I'm gonna strive. I don't know how. I'm going to do upload other videos. Like, yeah. But yeah, this is so I wrote everything down. The stuff that I was all into, that I wanted to do, that I wanted. Yeah, so like the apothecary, the learning, speed read, type faster, herbology, the travel, homesteading, the restaurant, the garden, the library, the upcycling, the cafe, the castle, um, the cute little hobby that I want to do for, the private cute hobby that I want to do. Coding, you know, teaching, because I consider teaching English. I want to be able, the writing the books, creating a venue in the castle so that I can have the Renaissance Fair at home instead of going off to a Renaissance Fair. I can have cosplay because I like, a whole bunch of sci-fi shows, you know, cosplay, some like nerdy thing going on, Star Trekkies, Star Wars, either or. People can have their weddings, because that's what I thought about when I was a teenager. I was thinking about having my own kids. I loved the idea of opening my home to all the neighborhood kids and, being the hub. But I haven't lived in a spot like I live in my parents' basement. Having all the kids come and clean out my parents' fridge is probably, yeah, it's not self-sustaining. That's not a very good idea. That's not healthy. Or I lived with my exes weren't very kid oriented, very much go to work and get things done or their own thing. So that's another thing, my ex and I might not be compatible on. Is that I want a venue. I want a place and I want to invite people to want to come. Place where you can feel like it's a great place to have your wedding. Great place. I watched Good Witch and it just, when you get that warm, fuzzy feeling in your heart, where she has her bed and breakfast at the gray house, and she, uh, she does all of her cleaning and cooking, and Daddy went to work. You had both Daddy and Mommy in the home, didn't you? And you was happy, weren't you? Come here. You need extra cuddles. I'm on the YouTube, but I can totally cuddle you if you want. Do you want me to turn it off to cuddle you? Do you need do you need me? Do you just need time with me? Do you want me to end the show so that I can just be with you? Because now you miss Daddy? Okay. I can understand that. All right. I love you guys, but I've got important things to do. Until the next show.